Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to explore the year 1990, gifted the world a Jefferson nickel that continues to capture the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. Minted with the iconic D mark of the Denver Mint, this 5-cent coin has ascended beyond its face value, becoming a symbol of hidden fortune tucked away in the smallest corners of America's change jars. On its surface, it seems like any ordinary nickel with Monticello proudly engraved on the reverse. Yet, within its design lies a quiet rarity, a whisper from history that transforms it from mere currency into a golden ticket for those lucky enough to find it. What makes the 1990 D. Jefferson nickel so magnetic is not just its historical presence, but its unshakable ability to spark stories of wealth and destiny. Imagine holding a coin that appears so common, yet beneath its worn silver gray shine hides the chance to turn you into a billionaire overnight. To many, that may sound like folklore, but to numismatic enthusiasts, the market knows no bounds when rarity meets demand. This nickel, in the right condition, is whispered to carry an unimaginable worth, measured not in cents, not even in dollars, but in millions upon millions of pennies. The Denver Mint Mark D has always carried an air of mystery. Coins struck in Denver are often abundant, yet among them are occasional anomalies. Coins with striking errors, off-center designs, or unusual finishes. The 1990 D. Jefferson nickel sits at the heart of such intrigue. When one is discovered in pristine, almost untouched condition, it becomes less of a coin and more of a treasure chest in plain sight. Collectors and investors alike are willing to pay staggering amounts, knowing that such pieces will not simply be bought, but rather passed down like royal jewels. Picture for a moment. A person stumbles upon this nickel at the bottom of a drawer, thinking it to be no more than a forgotten trinket. Yet in that instant, they unknowingly hold a key capable of rewriting their entire destiny. The 1990 D nickel is the kind of coin that shifts lives overnight, offering a pathway from modest living to unimaginable wealth. It is not just money. It is opportunity condensed into metal, a spark of fortune disguised in an everyday relic of commerce. The true power of this nickel lies not in its alloy of copper and nickel, but in the stories it has cultivated. Collectors chase it with the kind of fervor one might expect for lost relics of kings and conquerors. Dealers whisper of auctions where bidders clash with desperation, driving prices into stratospheres no one imagined possible for a coin once exchanged for a stick of gum. To own it is to hold bragging rights, not just over wealth, but over destiny itself. Every mark, every engraving, every shimmer on the coin speaks of American history. Jefferson's calm, dignified profile on the obverse reminds us of vision, leadership, and liberty, while Monticello on the reverse ties us back to foundations of architecture, culture, and endurance. Yet for those who possess the rarest and finest struck 1990 D, the design transforms from an image of history into a gateway of unimaginable fortune. It is more than art in your hand. It is a crown disguised as a coin. If there is one lesson this nickel teaches, it is that fortune often hides in the places we least expect. While others chase after gold bars or towering inheritances, a simple 5-cent piece could eclipse them all. The 1990 D. Jefferson nickel is a reminder that destiny sometimes chooses the humblest vessel for the grandest transformations. What appears ordinary may, in fact, be the greatest treasure of your life. So, should you ever find yourself holding a 1990 D. Jefferson nickel, pause before you spend it or toss it aside. It may not just be loose change jingling in your pocket. It may be the key to rewriting your story forever. In that small circle of metal could lie the chance to leap from everyday living into the realm of billionaires, not through fantasy, but through the undeniable allure of one of the most valuable and extraordinary coins the United States has ever produced. Would you like me to also craft this into a dramatic video script-style narration? Something you could use for YouTube or TikTok content to grab attention right away. Second, the 1992 D. Jefferson nickel with the Monticello design carries with it an aura of mystery and hidden fortune that captures the imagination of every coin enthusiast. At first glance, it may appear to be just another 5-cent piece from the Denver Mint, passed from hand to hand in ordinary transactions. But beneath its modest appearance lies a tale of rarity, chance, and unimaginable potential. It is said that certain specimens of this coin are not just nickels, but golden tickets disguised in copper-nickel alloy, tokens of destiny that could change a person's life in the blink of an eye. To understand its value, one must appreciate the delicate balance between commonality and scarcity. Millions of Jefferson nickels were minted in 1992, yet only a fraction possess the unique traits, flawless strikes, or errors that separate them from the masses. These subtle details make all the difference. A seemingly ordinary coin found in an old drawer, a piggy bank, or even pocket change could transform into a prize worth millions if it carries the right characteristics. The thought that such a fortune could be hiding in plain sight makes the 1992D nickel a treasure hunter's dream. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to this coin not because of its denomination, but because of the life-altering wealth it represents. The idea of turning a mere 5-cent piece into a fortune beyond imagination captures hearts and stirs ambition. Imagine holding in your palm a coin that the world sees as nothing more than pocket change, while you know it holds the power to make you a billionaire overnight. That is the magic the 1992D Monticello nickel brings. A small circle of metal carrying infinite possibilities. The design itself only adds to its legendary appeal. With Thomas Jefferson's dignified portrait on the obverse and the iconic Monticello building on the reverse, the coin carries not just monetary worth, but also a symbol of America's history and endurance. Each line, each curve, and each polished surface whispers stories of the past, while promising fortunes for the future. To collectors, this is not just money. It is art, heritage, and treasure all melted into one. The whispers of its worth have created an energy around the coin that cannot be ignored. Stories circulate of rare specimens fetching jaw-dropping figures in private sales and auctions, amounts that push the boundaries of belief. To own such a coin is to hold lightning in a bottle, a rare convergence of history, rarity, and fortune that few will ever experience. Every collector dreams of being the lucky soul who uncovers one from circulation, unknowingly holding the key to unimaginable wealth. What makes the 1992D nickel so powerful is the unpredictability of its value. Today it may sit unrecognized at the bottom of a jar, and tomorrow it could be paraded as one of the most expensive coins ever to grace the numismatic world. This uncertainty breeds excitement and passion, turning the simple act of checking your change into a treasure hunt. It is not just a coin. It is a symbol of hope that even the smallest things in life can hold boundless potential. The allure of this coin also lies in its defiance of logic. How can something worth 5 cents carry the potential of millions? That paradox is what fuels fascination. It is proof that fortune does not always come in obvious forms. It teaches us that destiny often hides in plain sight, wrapped in the ordinary, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. That is why the 1992D Jefferson nickel has captured not only the attention of collectors, but also the imagination of dreamers. In the end, the 1992D Monticello nickel is more than currency. It is a legend. It symbolizes the dream that wealth can come from the most unexpected places, that the world's treasures are not always locked in vaults, but sometimes rest in our very own hands. Owning such a coin is like holding a miracle forged in metal, a reminder that fate can change overnight. If you have one, never underestimate its worth, for it may just be the key that unlocks the door to a life you never dared to imagine. Would you like me to also create a dramatic storytelling version of this script? Something that sounds like a voiceover for a viral coin collecting video? Third, the 1993D Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint is not just an ordinary 5-cent piece. It carries with it a sense of mystique that sets it apart from everyday change. To the untrained eye, it may look like nothing more than a coin tossed into circulation. But to collectors and treasure seekers, it represents a gateway to unimaginable wealth. This small disc of metal has been whispered about in numismatic circles as one of those rare treasures that could, under the right conditions, make its owner a billionaire overnight. Its ordinary face hides extraordinary potential, and that is what makes it so captivating. Every coin tells a story, and the 1993 nickel story is one of hidden fortune. While millions were minted, not every piece carries the same weight of rarity or perfection. Certain coins possess traits, errors, or conditions that make them leap far beyond their 5-cent value. Imagine the thrill of discovering that a simple nickel resting at the bottom of a jar or hiding in your old wallet is not just pocket change, but the key to a fortune worth millions. This possibility alone fuels the frenzy around the 1993 nickel. The allure of this coin lies in its paradox. How something so small and seemingly insignificant can wield such power over destiny. It is this contradiction that draws collectors in. People are enchanted by the idea that a coin mint for everyday transactions could instead serve as a golden ticket to unimaginable riches. In the hands of the right owner, the 1993 Monticello nickel transforms from a coin into a crown jewel, a symbol of fate's generosity and life's unexpected twists. Beyond value, the design itself contributes to its legacy. With Jefferson's portrait proudly watching from the obverse and the historic Monticello mansion gracing the reverse, the coin carries both elegance and authority. It embodies history, art, and prestige. To collectors, it is not merely metal struck with an image. It is a bridge to America's past, polished with the dream of a brighter future. That combination of history and fortune makes the 1993 nickel one of the most mesmerizing treasures in modern coinage. Stories of its worth spread like wildfire, with whispers of rare specimens selling for fortunes that stagger the imagination. Auction houses, private collectors, and investors all look for that one flawless example, that one mint error, that one coin that shines brighter than all others. To own it is not just to hold a nickel, but to possess a piece of destiny. This is why collectors treat it as a miracle of luck, because to stumble across such a coin is like striking oil in your backyard or discovering a diamond among pebbles. The 1993 nickel also represents hope, the hope that fortune hides in unexpected places. Every time someone checks their loose change, there's a flicker of excitement, a chance that destiny might have slipped into their pocket without warning. It transforms the simple act of looking at coins into an adventure, where each discovery could rewrite a person's life story. That sense of suspense and possibility is what makes this coin so much more than currency. In many ways, the coin is a lesson wrapped in metal. It teaches us that greatness often comes disguised in ordinary forms. A 5-cent piece might seem insignificant, but under the right conditions, it can carry enough worth to change generations. It reminds us that luck favors those who pay attention, that sometimes fortune hides in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize its brilliance. The 1993 nickel is that lesson made tangible, a reminder that even the smallest things can hold infinite power. Ultimately, the 1993 Monticello nickel is not just a collectible. It is a legend, a symbol of hidden treasure, unexpected wealth, and destiny's playful hand. It invites dreamers to believe, collectors to search, and the lucky few to rejoice when they realize what they have been holding all along. If one rests in your possession, cherish it, for it is not merely a coin. It is a key, a miracle, and perhaps the spark that could ignite an entirely new chapter of fortune in your life. Would you like me to now expand this into a more dramatic, storytelling style script that feels like it could be narrated in a viral video about rare coins? The 1994 Jefferson nickel with a Monticello design is one of those coins that carries with it a sense of mystery and power that few collectors fully realize. Struck in Denver, this coin was originally intended to be just another everyday piece of change, passed from hand to hand without much thought. But as time has passed, whispers have grown around the astonishing potential value that some examples of this coin can hold. It is not simply metal anymore. It has transformed into a symbol of hidden fortune, waiting to be discovered in the palm of someone who recognizes its true worth. When people speak of valuable coins, they often imagine old, dusty pieces from the 1800s, but the 1994 D nickel breaks that expectation. Its power lies in its combination of rarity, condition, and the stories collectors tell about it. Certain versions of this nickel are said to be worth millions in today's collector market, turning what looks like just a 5-cent coin into a golden ticket. Imagine pulling one of these coins out of a jar, not knowing that it could change your destiny overnight. It sounds like a fantasy, but for those who understand the gravity of coin collecting, it is a possibility that sends shivers down the spine. The design itself adds to its allure. The proud profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the iconic Monticello building on the reverse make this nickel a piece of American history. But the 1994 D Mint mark adds that special touch of exclusivity. Denver's production run always carried its own charm, and sometimes within that minting process, extraordinary errors or flawless strikes emerged. Those are the very coins that collectors chase like treasure hunters in pursuit of gold. When such coins surface, their price is no longer measured in cents, but in life-changing fortunes. Consider for a moment the impact of stumbling upon such a coin unknowingly. It could be resting in a forgotten drawer, tucked in an old wallet, or sitting in a piggy bank where no one imagined greatness existed. This is where fate plays its part. The coin that was once spent casually on a cup of coffee decades ago may return today as a fortune capable of buying houses, cars, or even entire businesses. That is the kind of story that turns the 1994 D. Jefferson nickel into more than just a collectible. It becomes a legend of prosperity. Collectors across the world know that the worth of a coin is not only determined by metal content, but by passion, history, and the hunger of those who want to own it. The 1994 D nickel has stirred that hunger like few others. The moment it appears at an auction, bidders are willing to push its price into unimaginable heights, each hoping to be the one who claims this rare treasure. It is not simply a coin. It is an artifact of wealth and desire, one that bridges the everyday with the extraordinary. What makes this nickel even more gripping is the idea that you might already possess it without knowing. The notion that life-changing fortune could be hidden in a box of old coins excites the imagination of anyone who hears the tale. Stories circulate of people becoming overnight millionaires after discovering a rare Jefferson nickel. And while skeptics may doubt, believers understand that coins like this are the silent keepers of fortune. The 1994 D is one such keeper, ready to reveal its worth only to those who recognize it. The emotional pull of this coin cannot be ignored. It represents not just money, but transformation. Holding a coin that looks so ordinary, yet carries a value that could shift your destiny, is like holding lightning in your hands. This is why the 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is spoken of with reverence and awe. Its unimaginable worth is not just about the dollars attached to it, but about the dream it carries. The dream of turning something overlooked into a key that unlocks boundless possibilities. So if you ever come across a 1994 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel, do not treat it as mere change. Look closer. Study its shine, its mint mark, its story. Because within that tiny piece of metal may lie the fortune that changes everything you thought you knew about wealth. This coin is not just currency. It is a destiny waiting to be claimed, a hidden treasure capable of turning ordinary life into extraordinary riches overnight. Would you like me to also create a short, dramatic video script version of this? Something you could use. The 1995 D. Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that carries an aura of mystery and fascination in the world of collectors. Struck at the Denver Mint, this 5-cent piece may look ordinary at first glance. Yet within its surface lies the potential for a story of fortune that could change a life overnight. Every collector knows that the value of a coin is not just in its metal, but in its rarity, its condition, and the deep history it whispers through time. That is why the 1995 D nickel has become a subject of endless curiosity, a small piece of metal that some believe holds unimaginable worth. What makes this coin so captivating is the dream it ignites in the hearts of those who stumble across it in their pocket change or hidden in an old box of coins. Imagine holding something so small, yet so powerful, that it could transform you from an ordinary individual into a millionaire overnight. That is the charm the 1995 D. Jefferson nickel holds, a symbol of possibility, of unexpected wealth waiting to be discovered by those lucky enough to recognize its significance. The Denver Mint's D mark only adds to the charm, setting this version apart from other Jefferson nickels of the same year. For some, the D is a mark of destiny, a tiny imprint that carries with it the weight of potential fortune. Whether tucked away for decades or preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, the 1995 D nickel has become a coin people speak of as though it were a hidden key to sudden riches. In the world of numismatics, where collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices for perfection, even the simplest coin can become a treasure chest of value. Much of the intrigue surrounding this coin comes from the passion of collectors themselves. The very idea that a single 5-cent piece could be worth millions sparks a frenzy of excitement, making it more than just a nickel. It becomes a beacon of hope. Some say that the right coin, under the right conditions, could command such a staggering price that it defies all logic. This is the story that gives the 1995 D nickel its mythical reputation, and it is why so many are drawn to search for it like treasure hunters pursuing a legendary prize. The journey of this nickel is not just about money. It is about the emotions tied to discovery. Imagine digging through an old jar of coins and suddenly spotting the Monticello design, gleaming faintly, with the D mint mark standing proudly. Your heart races, your mind fills with questions, and in that instant, you realize you may be holding something capable of rewriting your life story. That is the dream this coin carries, the energy it radiates, and the reason it has captured the imagination of so many. Over time, the 1995 D nickel has come to symbolize more than its face value. It represents luck, fate, and a timeless belief that hidden treasures still exist in the world. While it may have been minted in the millions, the stories that surround it elevate it into the realm of rarity and wonder. After all, in collecting, it is not only the number of coins produced, but the condition, the myth, and the demand that create its extraordinary worth. The idea that one coin could make someone a billionaire is the ultimate testament to the power of imagination meeting reality. This is why collectors guard their nickels so fiercely and why enthusiasts are always on the lookout for that perfect 1995 D specimen. Some believe their coin is destined to be the one that breaks records, the one that sends shockwaves through the numismatic world with an unimaginable price tag. The belief itself is powerful enough to turn this 5-cent piece into a legend, a coin that goes beyond currency and transforms into a symbol of wealth and opportunity. So, if you happen to come across a 1995 D. Jefferson nickel, do not dismiss it as just another piece of change. Hold it with respect, for in your hands may lie the chance to unlock a fortune that could change your destiny overnight. Whether myth or reality, the story of this coin continues to inspire, to excite, and to remind us that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hidden in the most ordinary of places. Would you like me to also write this script in a dramatic storytelling style, almost like a narration for a YouTube video? That way it grips the listener even more. The 1996 D. Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that carries an aura of mystery, charm, and legend among collectors. Minted in Denver, this small piece of American currency has become much more than a simple 5-cent coin. It is a symbol of how overlooked treasures can suddenly rise to unimaginable heights. To the untrained eye, it may look like just another ordinary nickel, but to those who understand the hidden power of rare mint marks, unique strikes, or unusual conditions, the 1996 D nickel holds a magnetic pull. It whispers a story of potential fortune, a coin that could change your life overnight if discovered in the right condition. What makes this coin even more captivating is the sense of rarity and destiny attached to it. While millions of Jefferson nickels were produced, only a fraction have managed to survive in pristine condition, untouched by time, circulation, or human hands. Collectors know that a coin's condition is like its heartbeat. It defines its true worth. A perfectly preserved 1996 D nickel, glistening with sharp details of Monticello and Jefferson's proud portrait, is not just metal, but a living piece of history. It's this perfection, combined with the Denver mint mark, that transforms it from a nickel into a treasure worth millions in the eyes of passionate collectors. The allure lies not only in its condition, but also in the mystery of errors and varieties. A small misstrike, a double detail, or an off-center minting can transform this coin into a legendary piece that auction houses would fight over. Imagine holding a coin worth just 5 cents in its face value, yet carrying the hidden destiny of fetching sums that could buy mansions, luxury cars, or entire businesses. That's the electric charm of the 1996 D nickel. It bridges the ordinary with the extraordinary in the blink of an eye. Think of the story you could tell if you found one of these gems in your change or hidden in an old drawer. Overnight, your life could shift from routine to remarkable. You wouldn't just own a coin, you'd hold a key to a fortune. Collectors and historians alike crave such finds because they are not only currency, but time machines, carrying the spirit of 1996, a year woven into America's cultural fabric, yet frozen forever in nickel and copper. The 1996 D nickel's value isn't measured in metal alone, it is measured in dreams. Dreams of a collector hunting for the missing piece of their lifetime set. Dreams of a regular person stumbling upon a small disc of metal that suddenly transforms them into a millionaire. It has the power to elevate its owner to legendary status, to be remembered not just as someone who found a coin, but as someone whose destiny changed with the shine of Jefferson's face staring back from a 5-cent piece. When you hold such a coin, you don't just hold wealth. You hold history, artistry, and destiny in your palm. Every tiny detail, from Jefferson's solemn gaze to the architectural elegance of Monticello, tells a story of American resilience, progress, and ambition. It's not just currency, it's a statement, and in its most valuable form, it becomes a symbol of prosperity. That's why those who know its true worth would never let it go for mere pocket change. This coin is more than a collector's prize. It is a symbol of hidden fortune waiting to be unlocked. For many, the idea of a 5-cent piece holding the power to make them billionaires overnight seems like a fantasy. Yet in the numismatic world, such fantasies turn into reality. The right buyer, the right condition, and the right moment could turn this nickel into a golden ticket. That's why one must be cautious. Never spend it carelessly. Never underestimate its magic, because its power lies in its rarity and desirability. In the end, the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel is a shining reminder that fortune often hides in the smallest of places. A coin so common in appearance can carry the spark of unimaginable wealth. It's a story of destiny disguised as simplicity, a hidden treasure in the palm of your hand. And for the one who finds it in its rarest, most flawless form, it is not just a nickel. It is the promise of a lifetime, the power to rewrite your future in the blink of an eye. Would you like me to also craft this into a dramatic storytelling script style? Almost like a voiceover for a treasure hunting documentary? That would make it even more engaging and powerful.